Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is that time of the year again, when we crack open our wallets, scrape together our life savings and bet it all on a completely irrational and needless PC upgrade. But what will it be? Shall we buy a needlessly over-the-top mouse mat with RGB infused into its core, or a Blu-ray device which no one has any use for nor could fit in a modern PC tower anyways? No. We are going big this time, and we're starting off with 200mm of bigness that are the Noctua NF820 PWM Chromax fans, the big boys. I've been thinking of replacing the old CoolerMaster 200mm front fans, which came with the H500P mesh case, with Noctuas for quite a while now in order to bring down the overall idling noise levels and further improve the airflow. I did perform a questionable investigation online prior to ordering the fans and was fully aware that the replacement would not exactly be a one-to-one fit due to non-standardized hole spacings for the 200mm fans. Little did I know though that not only the hole spacings were not matchy-matchy, but also the front panel does not properly close when the fans are installed with the top mounting holes matching the screw holes already made in the case. The obvious solution for this would be to simply trim off the top part of a Noctua fan, but I would rather bring a cutter to the case before going to butcher something as pretty and majestic as this 200mm fan. So what did I end up going with then? Well, only with the best invention created by the human race ever. Zip ties, of course. Yes, my front intake fans are now securely mounted to the case via zip ties and some silicone furniture pads. And in order to make this all extra juicy, the zippies don't even match the case nor the fans themselves, but are the extra sweet semi-white looking transparent ones. Yeah. Fun fact is that now I also have a security lock for the front panel of the case, as I tightened the zippies up a bit too much, and even though the panel closes up nicely, I do have to use a very specific Noctua unlocking tool in order to get it back open. Imagine that. Noctua does security. But we're not gonna stop right there. No. We're gonna need something bigger, something irrational and utterly bonkers in our current PC hardware market. What we need is a new GPU. Yes, this is the MSI 3080 Supreme X, the GPU which is going to replace my absolutely awesome and perfectly working RX 6800 XT. Why? Because of AMD's lack of features offered on Linux. The 3080 comes with 6GB of less VRAM, it is pretty much the same performance-wise and weighs an absolute crap ton. Geez, I mean, just look at this monstrosity. It does look good, yes, but when you compare it to any other reasonable GPU on the market, then the dimensions of this GPU are just ridiculous. The good thing is that though due to all of that metallicious chunkiness, it is also pretty good at keeping itself silent during operation, which is an absolute must-have for a silence freak such as myself. The GPU does come with a BIOS switch, which allows you to toggle between silent and gaming BIOS modes. When I ran the benchmarks, then honestly the performance difference at 4K was so negligible between those two BIOSes that in real life you wouldn't notice it. I'm talking about 1 to 3 FPS difference here. When it comes to temps and noise levels though, the cooler manages to keep the GPU at around 71 degrees at full load, using the gaming BIOS, and at 80 degrees whilst using the silent BIOS. The noise difference, however, is very noticeable, and I shall keep my GPU in the silent setting just for my own sanity's sake. But okay, this has already been an extremely weird video so far. So why did I really do this, and have I simply gone mad during the pandemic? Well, I am a silence freak when it comes to PCs, and Noctuas have really helped me out in that regard. When it comes to the 3080 though, the main reason for the switch is that I want to have a good Linux experience for my use case. And well, AMD simply isn't cutting it for me. Their software side is very lacking on Linux when you compare them to Nvidia, and I simply wanted to get back to my Linux workflows. To provide a few examples would be the HDMI 2.1 support, which will not happen due to HDMI Forum wanting to make money with licensing, and there is absolutely no reason for them to allow AMD to make their HDMI 2.1 specification source code publicly available through Linux drivers. And well, then there is the question of non-existent hardware encoder support on AMD GPUs under Linux. I honestly thought that after so many years, things have changed as everyone keep on recommending to go with AMD on Linux. Alas, for me, that is not the case, and I find Nvidia to simply offer much better overall experience for me and my use cases on Linux. Anyways, well, time to wrap this subjective rant video up and get back to work so that my wallet would forgive me this utterly stupid move which I have just pulled. But until next time, I would like to thank you very much for watching, and may you all have a lovely rest of your day, whenever, wherever you are. Bye bye.